Victory is ensured, for I am the VCardian. Hi everyone, I'm the VCardian, and today I'm starting a new series that I call Elemental Master. This is a series about making a deck out of each elemental combo, including single element decks. This is meant to be a fun challenge to showcase some cards or combos people usually wouldn't use, and maybe give some players ideas for decks. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a total of 28 combos I can make, and essentially I'm going in alphabetical order, starting with the single elements that I call the noble decks. The first noble deck is Chaos, in which I simply call Pure Chaos. This deck was a bit hard to make because it's super new, with not much support. I should also say that most decks in this series are theory crafted with no real testing or fine tuning. Starting with VTubers, we have full playsets of each power level of Rainho and Camila. The deck is built around Rainho with her lock ability that says Crit, fracture any VTuber spot, Calamity, +1 power level to this VTuber for every 2 VTubers that are fractured. So the idea of this deck is to fracture as many board spots as you can so Rainho can gain a bunch of power. This is also off the pretext that you are able to fracture your own board spots, in which I believe you can based off the wording of cards that apply fracture. Like Camila, that says, if a VTuber evolved in your active spot this turn, fracture any VTuber spot. If a VTuber evolved to a power level 10 VTuber on your backstage this turn, crit, fracture any VTuber spot. So since it says fracture any VTuber spot, it is fair to assume that you are able to fracture your VTuber spots, including your opponents. The last VTuber in this deck is 2 of each power level of Clumsy Totless, with a passive that says, the first time you evolve a VTuber each turn, crit, on success, +1 power level to your leftmost backstage VTuber, on fail, +1 power level to your rightmost backstage VTuber. This Totless plus the Camila are meant to be helpers for Rainho to gain more power. They also have a weird synergy because they have effects around the evolution of VTubers. Next is the mascots, in which we play 2 of each. Jovial Document and Tricky's Ghosts are for utility, while Megacorp Droid and Benson are the most important mascots. Like Benson with Snap that says, -1 power level to all VTubers that are fractured. If this affected 2 or more VTubers, draw 1 card. This is a fracture deck, so this can easily affect multiple VTubers, plus since this build is meant to fracture your VTubers as well, you have to fracture and use this mascot wisely. For Megacorp Droid, it has Snap and says, -1 power level to your opponent's active VTuber. If your opponent's active VTuber is paired, crit, -1 power level to your opponent's active VTuber. This mascot is mostly used turn 6 for combat because it's paired for Rainho and it's a last second decrease in power for your opponent's VTuber. Next is the supports. Not running anything fancy, just 3 of each of pretty much just staples for non-ally decks. Lastly is a playset of the world, a kitchen, with the effect that says, -1 power level to your opponent's active VTuber for each VTuber you control affected by a status effect. This is good because, again, you are applying status effects to VTubers you control, so if you play it smart, you can make your opponent's active VTuber lose a lot of power. Here's a condensed look at the deck. But of course I will leave the link to the deck list in the description. Overall, I think this deck is very unique and interesting, but it's not very flexible and needs to be played in a very specific way. Firstly is the VTubers you need early and their placements. You should keep Rainho's the first and fourth backstage areas because of Totless. Prioritize Camila's early so you can start fracturing. Also remember to try to gain the most value with your evolutions for Camilla and Atlas. There's also your fracture priority. I would say wait to fracture until you can evolve your active and have either Benson or a Kitchen in your hand. If you have Benson, you would want to fracture more of your opponent's VTubers, while with a Kitchen, it's the complete opposite. But I would say an early safe pick is your second and third backstage areas. And that's it. Like I said, I think the idea is cool but not very flexible. It also doesn't help that the chaos pool is on the smaller side. But thanks for watching. I'll leave my socials in the description. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the deck and this series, and any suggestions in the comments below. And remember, you're all my heroes, and that the V stands for victory.